The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we bring you the goings-on of the mayors and supervisors in the communities that we cover. We'll start this week with John Moffett, supervisor of the town of Mendon. John, how are we doing in Mendon?
Good, Chris. Obviously, we are getting a little bit of break from some of the winter weather we're used to in January, so our highway department's been out doing some work that normally they don't have a chance to do this time of year. One of the things they're doing is picking up Christmas trees. They'll pick them up as possible from now until sometime in February. So if you're in the town of Mendon outside the village of Honeoye Falls and you want to put it out front, they will come around periodically, as I say, as possible with the weather, and pick up those trees. If you want to bring it to the highway garage on Semmel Road, you can bring it directly there. The office will be closed for Martin Luther King Day on Monday, January 16th. And I also wanted to mention that we do have 2 openings on our Environmental Conservation Board. If you are a resident of the town of Mendon and you are interested in participating on that board, you can send me an email or call me and I will send you a job description, put you in touch with the chair. Our youth center is open and running as it has been since fall. The big change is that now there is bus transportation through the HFL school district that is transporting students from the middle school to the youth center on Monroe Street. This time of year, that's quite a walk, but with the weather being what it can be this time of year, with many thanks to this HFL school district as well as the transportation department for facilitating that bus stop. Moving on to taxes, which is always everybody's favorite subject. If you checked your mailbox this week, generally, unless you're escrowed, you received your tax bill. If you did not receive your tax bill and you think you normally would have received your tax bill, please contact the tax collector, who is Michelle Booth, who is also our town clerk, and she can guide you. If you dissect your bill, you'll find that your total town tax bill probably went up a few cents. As I mentioned last week, the county rate went up fairly substantially. And we do have a call into the county regarding that, but it is due to our equalization rate, which has dropped significantly. Since last year, we were at 93%. This year, we're at 78%. And if you probably have questions as to what is it and how does that affect me, basically what it is that when the state reviews the sale of homes, as we've all seen, the sales a lot more than generally what places are assessed for, that affects the equalization rate and thus affects the county rate. Does not affect the town rate because the equalization rate, because we're all within the town of Mendon, it affects everyone the same, so that there's no equalization rate applied to the town rate. Hopefully I explained that well enough. It is a little bit complicated, and if you have any questions, feel free to call either the assessor or myself. Would be more than happy to speak to you about it. I think that that covers me for today. Just had to recheck my notes. Should have written bigger.
Thanks, John. Mike, town of Lima, what are we doing there?
Well, Chris, we had our organizational meeting on January 2nd. And of course, along with every organizational meeting, the all the appointed boards come up for new membership. So for our outgoing board members, thank you to Dougie Best for many years of service on Lima's Planning Board and Assessment Board of Review. Doug is retiring to pursue other interests. Thanks also to Dennis Neenan and Dick Crucio for serving on the Agricultural Advisory Committee, I believe since its inception in 2011. Congratulations to incoming board members, Larry Kramer, as he joins the Planning Board. And it has been probably a long time since we've had someone from South Lima on the Planning Board, but a good chunk of South Lima is within the town of Lima. And Tom Simpson, as he joins the Agricultural Advisory Committee, and John Grasso, who is joining the Library Board. Thank you all for volunteering. The Lima Town Board also had a regular meeting January 2nd, and we approved public hearings to discuss the increase in exemptions for seniors and disabled persons at our February 7th upcoming meeting. This was already approved at the Livingston County level, and this is the follow-on enabling legislation so that the discounts can be applied to our local town residents. There will be a public information meeting on February 1st at 6 p.m. at the Elam Life Church off of Dalton Road. This will be regarding the proposed Water District 5 for the town of Lima. If you live outside the village of Lima and you do not have water, this affects you. If you live outside the village of Lima and you are purchasing your water from the village of Lima, this affects you. And so postcards will be going out to everybody in the proposed district, and there will be a very nice advertisement coming up in the Sentinel, so watch for that too. That's all I've got, Chris.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Steve Schultz, supervisor of the town of Henrietta. How are we doing in Henrietta?
Good. Couple things. Our Christmas tree recycling is going on right now at Tinker Nature Park. So if you have a Christmas tree, obviously a natural Christmas tree, no, not artificial one, you can bring it to Tinker. Please make sure it's free of tinsel or other decorations. Starting on the 17th, you'll be able to sign up. Seniors will be able to sign up for free tax preparation help done in association with the AARP. You can call the Senior Center at 334-4030, again, beginning January 17th. The appointments actually begin in February, but you can start making the appointments as of the 17th. Next Thursday, January 12th at 7 p.m. is the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. That town has done this in conjunction with the town of Rush, the Rush Henrietta Central School District, the Interracial Clergy Council, and the Interfaith Council. It's been I'm not sure how many years now, but it was started back when Michael Udelson was town supervisor. So it's been going on for a while. So we did receive our bids back for the first 3 contracts for the new town court that we're building. They were for demolition, foundations, and steel, structural steel. They actually came in under budget. Now, granted, they're higher than the original budget from 2 years ago, but when we put in the escalation due to the supply chain issues to adjust our budget, they actually came in below that. So good news, at least for right now. But that's part also why we wanted to go out in December for an early January return, is because people are a bit more aggressive on pricing right now. So that's good news. And then we also got back our bids for the Middle Road water main. We're putting in a new water main. There's a section in town that they're still all on wells. And that area some years ago was actually rezoned industrial. So It makes no sense to have the remaining residential houses on well water in the middle of an industrial zone. So we are using some of our ARPA infrastructure money to offset those costs. We expect the per home cost to be between about $200 to $250. So we'll be advertising for a public hearing, as well for the residents to look at, to establish that district. So, but that's about it. A lot of projects in the work. I think we've got something like 70 active projects in town. So keeps us busy.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Mike, John, do you have anything else you wanted to add that you might have forgotten? Being none, thank you for being a part of today's show. Thank you all for listening and watching. Remember, we're airing this every Sunday at 1 o'clock. If you like our Facebook page, you'll be notified when it starts airing. If you prefer YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Same thing, it'll tell you when it's airing, so you don't have to remember. Your little phone or computer will tell you all by itself. Thanks again, guys, for being a part of today's show, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye for now.
Take care.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.